UFC 311 has ended, and still on both sides of the belts, Islam made it look easy, which was very predictable. We all knew that was going to happen. Unfortunately, Money Moicano will be back, hopefully. But Umar and Merab had a fucking war. I don't want to hear people saying this fight was boring. As someone who says most Merab fights are boring, we can't say that about this one. He struck. His striking looked the best it ever has been. He actually didn't shoot that many takedowns in the first two rounds, which is the two rounds he most likely lost. I do think there's an argument he won the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth. But yeah, I really don't know how people are saying Umar won this fight. You know, he won the first round for sure, maybe the second as well. But he kind of just lost all the rest of the three rounds, you know. He kind of just got outgassed, outpaced, outdone with volume. And he was getting rocked, you know. Merab striking looked the best it ever has. Umar's head movement is fucking terrible, which we kind of already knew, but it looked really bad. He kept ducking his head down, thinking he was going to have to sprawl a takedown, but Merab was just coming in to clinch, and then on the break, he would throw an elbow or a strike, and he was hurting Umar. Like, it was kind of a domination from Merab. It was close. There was close rounds, but if you actually go rewatch it, I feel like Merab won that fight pretty clearly. Going into this card, I felt like there was no way all three people from Khabib's team were going to win. I felt like someone was going to lose guaranteed, and I thought it would be Tagir. I picked wrong. It was Umar in the end. Unfortunate. He's young. He still looked good. Like, he definitely did the best out of anybody ever in the grappling. His defensive grappling is so good. His ability to trip people and drag them down to the ground is really impressive. He did it to Merab a few times, but it didn't matter. Again, in the end, none of it mattered. None of the technique mattered. None of the striking mattered, because guess what? Merab is going to outgas you. He's going to outpace you. He will be less tired in the last two rounds than you will be, and that's why he's going to keep this belt probably for a little while. I don't know who can beat him. You know, I really thought Umar was a really bad style matchup, someone who could slow him down and control him and not let him use weapon as a pace, but that did not happen. Merab, he really just might be the best bantamweight of all time, which is insane to say out loud. It really is. As a Merab hater, I hate his style. Cool guy, but terrible fighting style. It wasn't that bad in this fight. It looked pretty entertaining. He struck more. He actually gave up on takedowns instead of just pressing them up against the cage, and he realized, hey, I can strike with this dude. I'm hurting him. So he actually put on a good show for the fans. The showboating was a bit much, but hey, he was having fun in there, so I guess he won the fight, so it didn't matter in the end. And yeah, he's the best bantamweight of all time probably. He's top two for sure. His resume is so stacked. I don't really think there's any arguing this. Like, dude, as someone who's very biased, I realize that he's one of the best bantamweights of all time. It's crazy to say, but it's true. Bro, I did so fucking bad on predictions. Bro, please don't come at me too hard. Yeah, Yuri knocked out Jamal in a crazy war. That fight was so good. I was clenching my teeth, shitting my pants every time they went in for an exchange. Dude, Yuri drops Jamal in the first round. He recovers. Jamal's recovery is so good. So, like, just game. He's really good, man. I really think he's probably the third best light heavyweight. Maybe he would lose to Khalil, but I feel like he would mix in the grappling in a fight like that where Khalil has shit grappling, and he would actually use his IQ, which he showed decent IQ in this. He just looked a bit one-dimensional. He didn't really have much other than kickboxing. No elbows in the clinch. Like, he was throwing knees to the body, but other than that, he didn't really have any elbows. He didn't have head kicks to mix in, just body kicks and body shots, and obviously boxing to the fucking face. But that was it. I feel like that was his big problem in this. Just a little bit one-dimensional and a bit slow. He looked kind of slow compared to Yuri. I guess that's just Yuri being fast as shit, because Yuri looked the best he's ever looked in a few fights. I think he looked better than he did in both the Alex fights. That might just be Alex being a lot better than Jamal, obviously, but, you know, who knows? When you're talking about style matchups like that and how well a fighter does in fight to fight, it's just hard to really say. You know, he could have looked better. It could have been because he improved. His defense did look better, but I don't really think that was because he kept his hands up. His head movement was just so on point tonight. He was on a mission, and he got it done. Finished Jamal in the third round. I do think the stoppage was a bit premature. Maybe that's just me being stupid and wanting more fight because it was so good. But I feel like when the fighter is attempting to stand up, you can't stop it. You know, Jamal was attempting to stand up. He was in a squat when the ref stepped in and like pushed him back down. He was getting back up. He was gonna try to recover and land something on Yuri. You know, so I would have liked to see it keep going for another 5 seconds. But yeah, not that bad of a stoppage. I know I'm just coping, you know. Fuck, man. I did so bad on picks, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. The car was pretty good, I'd say. About a 7.5 to 8 out of 10 on the card. I don't know. The main car was very good. Lots of finishes. The prelims definitely lacked. You know, there wasn't that many finishes. Some people disappointed, like Peyton Talbot. I don't even want to talk about that. The aura is gone. The gay aura, the feminine aura is gone now. Now he's just a gay guy who can't fight. I'm just kidding. All right, Peyton Talbot's not gay. Can we chill on that? He just likes to belly dance, okay? It's chill. And Kevin Holland got finished in the first round by a guy from the B Leagues. So, yeah, I think everything I said in my last video about Kevin Holland was correct. I'm sorry if that hurt your guys' feelings. You know, he's a fan favorite, but he's not good. He's a bum. I'm sorry. Yeah, the mindset showed to not work well. Maybe you should actually care about winning, you know? Getting subbed by a guy from I'm kidding. You know, Reiner de Ritter's not that bad. I really don't know why people look at that Gerald Meerschaert performance as terrible. Gerald Meerschaert is a good grappler, you know? And Reiner de Ritter is a terrible striker. I agree. But, hey, I think he can do that to a few people in the rankings. I think he can continue to win. Kevin Holland is trash, but I think Reiner de Ritter is decent. It's not like he's trash and just finished another trash fighter. He can keep winning. He's not that bad. Just a bit goofy like Dreykus, but it works. But yeah, let's break down the whole card fight by fight, starting with the first fight of the night. We had Tagir versus Clayton Carpenter, all right? What I want to say is DC and Joe were biased as fuck for Tagir. I get it. You really want him to be something in the flyweight division. Khabib's prospect. You want a Khabib clone in every weight division as champ. I get it. Flyweight's kind of dead. We need someone like that low key. But bro, they were uncontrollably biased. They were embarrassingly biased. Everything Tagir did, they would say, oh, he's doing so well. And they would give Clayton no credit. Clayton was outstriking him for the first 2 rounds. But the difference was that Tagir is a better grappler, you know, and I knew he was, but I just thought Clayton would be able to hurt him on the feet, stuff more takedowns than he did, but that did not happen. Tagir picked him up in the second or third round. Close first round. I think that can go either way. I don't think he got dominated. Clayton did good, you know. He was undefeated, still did well, had that grit in his face like he always does, but yeah. He outstruck him in the first round, and then he kind of just out-grappled for the next 2 rounds and lost the decision. Obviously, he wasn't winning no robbery decision when it's a Dagestani. You know, that's not going to happen. But Clayton Carpenter's still good. Tagir looks pretty good. They're pretty huge flyweights, so both of them can probably go pretty far in the division. Yeah, good performance by Tagir. I would have liked to see the finish against a guy like Clayton Carpenter who hasn't really faced that high level of competition yet, but hey, still a good performance. He low-key almost ran out of cardio, ran out of gas like I said he probably would, like he did against Tim Elliott, but that did not happen. Good performance by both men. Next fight, we had Ricky taking on Bernardo. Bernardo, right? Yeah, Ricky is a tough guy. Really good chin, really good recovery, but that's not enough to win fights, okay? You have to have the offense part as well. And unfortunately, it's like he tried to robbery decision him. He was just landing shit volume, junk volume that didn't really do much damage. The first 2 rounds were close in the striking, but yeah, Sapaj was just landing the more significant strikes while Ricky was just landing junk volume most of the time. I think this was a pretty clear win for Sapaj. He had his back taken in the first round, which was a bit scary. Ricky almost got him, but it did not happen. Yeah, Sapaj, thank God he got a win because 0-2 in your first 2 UFC fights, that's not a good look, especially with how talented this guy is. he's really good. I think he's good. A bit cardio sus. I don't like his cardio. This was a war. This was a good fight. Really high output, high volume, but still, man, if you're gassing this bad in 3-rounders, you're probably never going to be a champ, which I get it. It's his second UFC fight. He's maybe not ready to be champ yet. I know people can get better, but yeah, I don't know. Not that good of a look. Still a good win, though. It was a good fight. Really fun to watch, especially the third round. It was hectic. Bit sloppy, though. Next fight, we had Nakamura versus Gafarov, where Gafarov put on an absolute masterclass. He beat the fuck out of Nakamura. Was dropping him legit every minute. I think he dropped him like 8 times this fight. And maybe some of them were trips, partial slips. I don't know. I don't care. All I saw was punches landing on his face and him going down. He got dropped like 7 or 8 times. Got absolutely dominated. Shot like 2 takedowns, and the ones he did shoot got stuffed. They were terrible. Yeah, really big underdog win here. There was a lot of big underdog wins in this card. A lot that I did not think were going to hit. I won some money. That was cool. But yeah, at the same time, dude, we need prospects who actually can win. And this Gafarov guy has 1 win in the UFC. He looked better than he ever has. His cardio looked a lot better, a lot improved than it has been, because that's kind of been his bad part of his performances so far in his career. He kind of gets gassed when he gets grappled, but this fight he didn't get grappled, so he looked better. Really powerful, big, wild, meaty hooks, big overhands. Were landing on Nakamura's chin every one he threw, basically. Just not a good performance by Nakamura. He kind of just froze up, which is okay. He can come back and look better, but yeah, kind of got fraud checked. Broke his undefeated record. I think it was undefeated. So yeah, good performance by Muin. Yeah, second win in the UFC, so let's see how far he can go. Then we had Carl Rosa lose by decision to Alin Perez, another twerk TKO. No, I'm just kidding. Another decision, a lot of decisions on the prelims, but yeah, good performance by Alin. Got the takedowns at will. Everyone she shot, basically, she landed. She was very minimal with them, didn't shoot that many, but the ones she did shoot, she got, and she kept Carl down for most of the round. Not much damage inflicted in this fight, the whole fight, not much. Carl maybe outstruck her one of the rounds, but yeah, Alin took her down, landed some ground and pound. Not much, but it was enough for her to win the fight. Let's move on. We don't really care about this. Next, we had Grant Dawson beat Diego Ferreira by pretty dominant decision. Just a classic Grant Dawson performance. Went exactly how I thought it would, except he actually was a bit more wild and open on the feet. His chin is not glass. It's not paper like a lot of people thought it was from losing to Bobby Green. I get it. Bobby Green's not the knockout artist we all know, but Grant Dawson looked good in this. He was throwing wheel kicks, head kicks, was actually exchanging with wild just combos on the feet, not scared to put his shit on the line. I know it was Diego Ferreira, but this was a bit of a resurgence in his career, Diego Ferreira, coming off 2 really good wins against good contenders. So, yeah, I guess he just can't really hang in there with gas tank-wise when he gets grapple fucked, which is unfortunate because he's a really entertaining fighter. Just doesn't have the jiu-jitsu to sub these wrestlers and doesn't have the defensive wrestling to not get taken down. Good striking. He hurt Grant Dawson a few times, but Grant Dawson actually was the one dropping him and hurting him on the feet, which was surprising. I did pick Grant Dawson, but I didn't think he looked this good. I thought it'd be more boring, but no. Good performance by Grant Dawson. He's probably going to be ranked like number 14 or 13 now. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Next, we had Bogdan beat Billy by submission in the second round. Pretty good little scrap back and forth. Billy got his back in like the first 30 seconds of the first round. So that was pretty scary. But Bogdan got out of it after being controlled for a little bit. And he's dangerous, man. He can land damage from anywhere. He can somehow generate power from any position with his hands. It's very scary. I think it would have knocked the fuck out of Johnny Walker. Even with all of Johnny Walker's abilities and his advantages and his reach advantage and his athleticism, it doesn't matter. He has a glass chin. He needs to move to heavyweight, but to maybe just outskill these guys with grappling, because he can't do it in this division, obviously. Dude, I don't even know what to do with Johnny Walker, man. I feel bad because he's so good, so dangerous, but he's going to get finished before anyone can get finished by him. So, unfortunate. The Johnny Walker train is probably over, especially with this injury pull out. He'll probably be out for a while now. But yeah, back to Bogdan. Good submission. It was kind of just at the point where Billy was gassed in the second round. Hey, making his debut, short notice, replacement. He didn't really have the cardio or training camp to prepare, so hey, he'll probably be back. Maybe he won't be. Maybe that was his one shot. Who knows? But he looked okay. Decent grappler. Definitely undersized for the division. He's only like 200 pounds at 205. What? I don't know about that. Then we had Ozmat get a brutal TKO against Reese. Not even a TKO. It was a KO. Reese was out for a while. He got taken down pretty early on in the fight. Was landing actually really good strikes off of his back. He is a really dangerous guard with slicing elbows, kicks, was kicking him off, and when he tried to regain the control, he was kicking him in the face, landing hammer fists. He was hurting him, cutting him open, but it didn't matter. Okay, Ozmat got his back, landed a crazy, just ground and pound strikes. Like, he generated a lot of power from being in a weird position where he shouldn't really have been able to. Good performance. This was his debut, right? On short notice, I think. Yeah, it was. Good performance. He's dangerous. He's really big for the division too, bulky. Maybe not as tall, but he's strong looking, powerful, good grappler. He'll probably do well in his future UFC run. Next, we had the biggest fraud check of the whole card. Randy Barcelos fraud checked Peyton Talbot. Man, Randy Barcelos, bro. Why do they keep making these prospects minus 1,000 favorites? Stop. Why was he minus 1,000 favorite? Stop doing that shit. It puts so much pressure on these guys, and it makes people just have way too high of expectations. I did think Peyton would win. I didn't think he would lose this early on against a nobody like Randy Barcelos. Bro, fuck, man. The aura is gone. It really was all in his hair. After he cut it off, he just lost that shit. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to be cringe with the aura shit, but yeah. He looked good, though. Like, I don't want to hear Peyton Talbot was never that good. His chin was really good. He was getting rocked and hurt a lot in this fight. He ended the fight with almost getting finished. Probably 5 or 10 more seconds and he would have got TKO'd, which would have just been hilarious. But he didn't. He got to the decision. Yeah. Looked good on the feet still. Was damaging Randy Barcelos. But it seemed a lot of his power and his sharpness and his strikes was completely robbed and taken out of him through the grappling. And I knew Peyton Talbot wasn't that good of a defensive grappler. I knew his offensive grappling was up to par, but I knew his defensive wasn't after watching a few of his fights outside of the UFC. Even his debut, he got grapple fucked for like a round until he got the submission. It's so hard to invest in prospects these days, man. He'll be back. I don't want to hear the hate. Peyton Talbot's still cool. He's still so fun to watch fight. The striking they did have, he won a lot of the exchanges. He just really didn't have the power anymore to hurt Barcelos and finish him and come back from on the grappling. He kind of gassed in the second round. So, yeah, he'll be back. Unfortunate. Good performance by Barcelos, though. He was emotional. Huge underdog win. Good for him. Next, we had Kevin Holland get fucking destroyed by Reiner de Ritter, which is just hilarious. Got subbed in the first round. Yeah, not much to say there. Not much else happened. Got taken down, controlled for a few minutes, and subbed. Quick work. Reiner de Ritter stock is up. Kevin Holland stock is down. Next, we had Jalen Almeida TKO Sergey. Sergey? Doesn't matter. Yeah, heavyweight's fucking dead, boys. We have Jalen and Tom and, John, obviously. But he's better retire if he fights Tom Aspinall. If he doesn't, he's going to retire either way. Yeah, heavyweight's fucking dead, man. We have Surogan, Volkov, Jaitlin, and Aspinall. That's it. 4 good fighters. The others are fat asses who gas in one round. Because the Polar Bear was actually doing pretty good. He was out grappling Jaitlin at times, which was really impressive. Something even Curtis Blades couldn't do, who's a really good wrestler. But it didn't matter because Jaitlin outgassed him, won the scrambles in the end, got full mount, got his back, and just TKO'd him. I'd say the ref stepped in a bit early, but I guess they do with these heavyweights because they hit really hard. You know, they could be knocked out all of a sudden, dead with one strike, I guess. But it's Almeida, man. He don't hit that hard, but good performance. He finally got a TKO. His stock's definitely up. Then we had Yuri Prohaska KO Jamal Hill. You know, it was going well. Jamal got dropped in the first round. Yuri won the first round. And then, what am I saying? It was going well. It was not going well for either guy. This was a very back and forth, crazy, dangerous fight where either guy could have got finished. But yeah, Jamal won the second, I'd say. He outstruck Yuri. No one really got dropped or anything. And then in the third round, Jamal got dropped in the beginning of it, recovered, came back. It did not matter. He ended up getting TKO'd with a beautiful left-right combination. And yeah, Yuri's so fast, so powerful. I don't really know what's next for him, though, because he said he wants to fight Alex Pereira a third time. Is that going to happen? Probably not, you know. So I think he'll just have to fight someone in the meantime while maybe Pereira fights one more time and then goes to heavyweight. You know, I think that's the only option with Yuri getting the belt again. I just don't see them doing a trilogy for that fight when the first two were so one-sided. It would just be hard to sell. I mean, people would go see it and buy it, but it would just get hard. It would be really hard for me to get excited for it. It would. Then we have Merab keep the belt and still. Fuck, man, we're stuck with him forever. But hey, if he puts on performances like this where he actually isn't afraid to strike more, it'll be fun. Like, I don't know why he didn't do this to O'Malley more. I guess because O'Malley's a sniper and it was risky and he was trying to get that belt no matter what. But yeah, fun fight, back and forth war. Probably the second best fight of the night because I think Yuri Jamal was better, even though it was only 3 rounds of it. This fight got a bit stagnant at times. They were a bit plotty at times, especially in the first 2 rounds, but they ended up being the rounds that Umar won as well. So, yeah, Umar's just better at the, like, one strike at a time stuff. He's just not that good at combos. His output's very low, which, yeah, in hindsight, Merab was probably going to win this no matter what. He's just, unless you finish him, you're not beating him. It's so hard, man. Ugh, all right, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's just move on. Then we had a very anticlimactic main event. Islam Darst Moicano. I'm pretty sure I predicted this. Wait, no. I predicted he would Darst Arman. But hey, same thing. Nah, I actually predicted that he would hurt Moicano to the body and then TKO him on the ground. Dude, Moicano dropped Islam. I haven't seen anyone talk about that yet. It was not a slip. Moicano fucking dropped him. That was scary as shit. Islam looked very slow and not confident on the feet for some reason. I guess he was just very scared of the unpredictability of Moicano and his money. But yeah, it didn't matter. Got him down. First takedown he got. Worked his way up. They scrambled. All it took was one scramble. As soon as you see Islam clinch up his teeth and grit down, it's over. As soon as I saw him make that face, I knew it was over. He got the darts in. He started biting down on the mouthpiece. It was over. Tapped very quickly. Islam's on a different level. Rip Moicano. He will be back. I still love him. But yeah, that's the whole card, boys. Very fun card. I enjoyed it a lot. First pay-per-view of 2025. Off to a good start, I'd say. You know, the prelims could have been better, but hey, we can't have a 10 out of 10 card every time. So, fun card. Good co-main featured bout. Fun finish, I guess, in the main event. Whatever. Like, it's just depressing seeing Moicano get finished. Ugh, it sucks, man. I really wish he would have just fought Darush and won, and Islam would have beaten Arman. It just would have been better. Would have been more happy if that happened. But, hey, at least Beneil got paid his win and show money. Good for fucking him. Had to do a whole lot of nothing. So, yeah, that was cool. But, yeah, that's the whole card. I'll see you guys in the next one.